My name is Craig Campbell. I am a PM with CyberLink. I want to thank everyone for joining us here today for this webinar where we're going to show you how to make your travel video stand out with PowerDirector. So what do we have for today's webinar? Well, we're going to create title effects. We're going to show you how to create these title effects, how to create camera movement, how to apply special blending effects. All this will be easy and intuitive with our PowerDirector software. How to add transitions, how to use the Express project. This is going to allow you to create one big project quickly and easy with drag and drop solutions. And last, how to do some 360 video editing. All this so you can quickly and easily use PowerDirector to edit your content and show us what you've done out there in your travels. So I hope you're all ready. Let's get this ball rolling. So some of you may be new with PowerDirectors or video editors in general. We try to follow the same process that everyone who's done any editing with video would be familiar with. So right here in the top right corner, we have, oops, excuse me, went too fast on that one. Let me go back. So right here in the top right corner, we have the preview window. Down at the bottom is the timeline. In the left-hand side, you have your toolbox and project panel. The project panel is the far left items, and we'll be going through that during our demo. You have your media room, effect room, particle overlay, title room. All these items will go through there line by line. And they have different layers for in that timeline, so we can add multiple layers, and I'll show you how that's going to be done as well. Okay, so let's get the ball rolling and start with creating some title effects. Again, at any time, jump in and ask questions with our team on the chat lines. Okay, with this, I'm going to open an existing project I have for titles. And as you see, as it loads, it shows the content that I was using right up here at the top. This is the timeline here of the video. I'm going to go ahead and play this, and you're going to see that it's got a number of special text effects going on here. You got the motion with the eye travel jumping back and forth up here. Day to night, we have some semantic reflexive capabilities going on here with some transitions. Tokyo, text is spread out with a blur effect in there as well. All this we're going to show you how to do quickly and easy. And here we've got a little masking effect with a little fade in as well. Okay, so how are we going to do this? So first off, we're going to go over here and copy this first line right here. We've got 3 layers here. You have your background, you have your video, and you have your map. So I'm going to go in here and start off on our media content, and I need to find our color boards, find our little bit of white, and add our white background. Simple as that. We've started the process. Okay, now we want to go to our travel pack, which is where our camera is. This is that little icon that we have right here. So we'll go to our little travel pack solutions, travel pack, and we have our little camera template. We'll add the camera template. Now you notice that the camera template is larger in size than my white background. I can stretch that background out, or I can go in the camera template and bring that down. So as simple as that, I've done some cropping, quick and easy, right in the timeline. So now that we've got that in there, we want to change the title on this camera. So let's go ahead and double click on that, and it brings up the title timeline. I want to add our text in here that I love travel. I love travel. As you can see, nothing's showing up in the window. It's all white. So let's go in there and change that color. Make sure we select the box, and we want that everything within that box to have font of black. Now let's increase that to 50 size. Move it over in the center here. And let's go ahead and change that to a gloss and bloom type font. And bring it back up a little and see how we look here. So I have a camera icon that I know is here in here somewhere. So let me see where the camera is. There it is. So I want to move this guy up above the camera. Okay, all that's looking good so far. Now we want to have that little starting effect. Right now there's no effect in there. It's just a basic, well, let's see how it looks. As soon as it starts playing, it just pops up and it's there. Not very exciting. It's very abrupt. So let's go ahead and add a wipe effect on this, and let's do wipe to the right. Yeah, just did a show there. We'll play it again so you can see, and now it wipes to the right for that effect. Quick, easy, and simple. Okay, click OK here, and we've done the title effect. Now we can go to the particle room. We want to add the map fixture that's down here on the left. So we'll go to the particle room, which is here, and then we want to look for our map. Let's go down, and there's our map. Drag in our map to another timeline. Again, let's bring it down to the same size. And now when we play this back, we have that same effect that we had at the beginning with the pan, the map effect, the text. So simple as that, same effect, right? Quick, easy. Hopefully you don't have any questions. If you do, please jump in there with Stan. He'll be glad to help you on that. While we move on to the next text effect here, which is this day and night one. So here you can see we have a cinematic view here with a reflection going on with that. So first we want to do is get that content. So we need to go up here to our media content board. We can see the day and night video and drag that into the timeline. Bump it right up against there. Now on top of that we need our text. So we want to go up over to our title room and grab a generic text, text only, say default text. Okay. Then we want to go in there and change that text, so double click on it. And let's give the name change. Okay, we also want to go back to the same type of font, gloss and bloom, right? Nope, gloss and bloom. Let's do that again. There we go, gloss and bloom. But now we need some reflection in there, right? So we have to go in there and choose the reflect on there as well. Size is 48, that's good. So reflection, move it to the position we want. Okay. And that's what it looks like, right? Okay, next we're going to add a blur effect to this. So we want to go into our effects and look for gloss blur. So bring that down. There's gloss and blur. Add that to the title effect. Now we want to go in there and manage where this blur is going to be. We don't want it throughout the whole frame because right now everything would be blurred and we don't want that. So we're going to go in there and add a little change to that. So we're going to go in there and add the keyframe. Now the keyframe, basically what that does is you're telling it at what point in this, at what frame do you want this to really begin. So we're going to go in there and say degree of 5 in there. And we're going to go ahead and put that at the very beginning where it's going to start. So we'll go at the beginning, hit the keyframe, so that's going to lock in a key there, and it's at a 5. And we'll go in here to about a second in, and we want it to, at this keyframe, go back to 0. So now, from here to here, you've got the blur, and then once it hits that keyframe, boom, the blur goes away. Now we can also put that towards the end too, of course. So now that we've got that in the beginning, let's do that for the end as well. So I'll go then at the end, and now we want to put the keyframes in opposite, right? So in there, we want this one to be about 5. Bring that down to 5. And then about a second before, we want it to be 0. So now it's going to start clear and then go to the blur effect. Quick, simple, easy. So you use these keyframes throughout the whole process to really fine-tune where you want these special effects to go in for fade in and fade out. Okay? And then the last step is to apply fade to the start and end. For that, it's very simple. You just go into the transition room and look for a fade. type in fade. And you can simply drag and drop the fade for the beginning and the end. And now we've got the same look, same ability as you've got here with the transition, the reflection, and the fade at the beginning and the end, and the gloss effect. All that quickly and easily done. Hopefully I'm not moving too fast for anyone here or creating too many questions. Want to keep this moving along. We have a number of things that we want to cover here. So the next one we want to do is this Tokyo one here. So in this Tokyo one here, you can see it's kind of blurry at the beginning and the lettering is separated. So here we did a little bit different in the blurring and effect. So let's go ahead and go back to that. Stop that. We'll go to our media content, drag over that video clip. You can see it's very big. I can shrink the timeline so I can move everything over, and then I can shrink that video down. We don't need it so big. Okay. So we'll also go in and drag my text effects over here to my title. And we're off alignment, so let's get our alignment here over to, there we go. Okay, now that we're aligned, first thing we want to do is go in there and do the gloss and blur. So we go again to our effects, look for gloss and blur, drag it over into the video. Again, go to the keyframe. Now on this one we want to do a little different here. So we want it to start off as blurry. Let's do it very blurry, say 10. Okay, and then say about right here. I'll add another keyframe, also 10, but then right here I want it to be 0. So now when we go back to here and start playing, you can see it's got blur. As soon as it hit this keyframe, it's going to start going down to 0 until it's all clear. Great. So we got our blur in. Now let's go to the My Title and edit the My Title. We want to put in Tokyo. And right now the lettering on that is not spaced right. You can see here, icon looks like spacing separating the text. Well, that's what we want to do. So let's go and put it to a 10. Okay. And simple as that. We've got the blurring, we've got the text effect, and the separation. Okay. And then we're moving on to the last one now. Okay. Now this last effect will create a mask from a title. So first thing we need to do is grab over our video stock. So I'll grab over this. Again, that's a large stock. Let me shrink that down, cut it to what we can work with easily. And that's simple as that. Okay. Bring that down here, excuse me. And for the background, of course, we want a little white in the background. Okay. And we'll bring that video back down to size. Okay, so now we'll go into this and we want to create a mask. So we need to go into the video, select designer, select mask designer, and then from there we want to create a mask. We don't want to use any of these preset ones. I want to create one that has my special text in there. So I want to change my title to I Love Travel. And let's go with our special font again. Gloss and Bloom. Okay, select everything. Gloss and Bloom. 85 is rather big. Let's bring it down to 48. And let's bring it down to the position where I can get the background, where it has the clouds and the hills in the background. Perfect. Okay, so that's my mask. Clicked OK. Everything's fine. You can make changes as you like, but here we can see we've got the mask created, and you can see the background in the moving in the background from that. So those are the 4 title effects we wanted to create and go over with you today. The masks, the movement, by that, move everything down, the transitions, all the special effects. Hopefully that has covered a lot of questions that you have. If you have any other questions, please ask everyone online. We have, again, Stan, who's very knowledgeable, that can help you with any of these aspects. Okay, so let's go ahead and open on to our next one. So we did the creative title. Our next is going to be creating camera movement as well as blending effect. So let's move on to that now. So I'll go in and open a new project. I don't want to save any of this. Okay, now for this blending effect, what we got going on here is slightly different than what we were showing you before. Here you can see where we have some basic videos. We have some Shutterstock that's going in the background. So when I go in here and say do a quick play on this, what you're going to see is you got a computer screen with backgrounds with the transitions going on. This one, Grassy Fields, has a little swirly dust here. The dust mites you can see right here, and we'll see that a little bit later. And then for this last video, we have a little camera video, old-time video effect with an overlay. So we'll go ahead and go through all this and show you how you can quickly and easily accomplish this yourself. So first thing we're going to do for this is we're going to go in and add our video, our Shutterstock. So we'll drag the Shutterstock video on over, and I'll bring it down in size. We don't need it quite that large, so I'll cut that down in size. And the other thing we want to do is use a utility, an object, a 2351 object here. So for that, we would go into our video overlay window. Now I've already downloaded it. It's been downloaded, but normally what you would have to do is go to free templates, where we have all sorts of free templates, everything from ones for sunrises to others, and go into the search, and you would just do a search for 2351. Okay, and that would bring up the download utility for this, for semantic overlay. Once you download it, it will then install, and it will show up here within PowerPoint, and you can just drag and drop it in at that point. I'll bring these down to the same size. So after you install that picture-in-picture overlay, you want to select the video and go to the keyframe. We want to set the position and scale for this, meaning we want to give this an effect where right now when it's playing, it's just stationary, right? We want to give it a pan and zoom effect here. So right now it's just sitting there not doing anything. So we want to give it a little bit of a pan and zoom video effect on here. So to do that, we're going to go in here and change the in-out attributes for this. So we'll go ahead and set the position here and an end position. And for this, we want to set it at this end. There we go. Set this to, say, 6. Okay. So we got the ease out and ease in. Make sure to click those tabs as well. Not just, they won't be in effect without those being selected. So now with that in there, if I hit play, you can see it's doing a little bit of a pan there. It's going up. So we probably want it to go in the other direction, to go down. So let's change that around. So let's change this one to 6 and this one to 5. Okay. And there we go. That's panning in the right direction now. Okay. So we've shown how to do the panning. So now we're going to do a little effect. So this is where we just did the panning with this guy. Now we're going to go to this guy for this one, and we're going to have this little dust effect that you have going on there. So first thing we have to do is go into the media room, select our grassy fields, and drag our grassy fields over. Again, we'll cut it down to a little bit more manageable size. And we also want to add our swirling dust. Right now we don't have any swirling dust when we play this. No dust, no nothing, it's just clean video. So let's add our swirling dust to the timeline below that, and also cut that down to size. It's nice how PowerDirector just matches that up quickly and easily. I don't have to work at that. So once you add your dust video, we're going to go in there and go to selecting the swirling dust. We're going to go to Power Tools. So go to Tools, Power Tools, and in here we're going to do the blending mode. So you click on blending mode right here, and we're going to choose this as, let's do a lighten. Okay, so now when we do lighten, hit play, hit play. Now you can see all the little dust showing up in the background. All right, as soon as I unclick it, no blending. Now we're blending. Okay, so once you've got the blending in and lighten, we'll really move on to the next track. Bring this down. So this one is going to be this video right here. So this, drag it over. Okay, so here we can see the normal effect right here. We want to get the effect that they've got right here with that overlay effect. Okay. So we just select that. We have to come in here and select this overlay. Drag that down. Go to Tools, Blending Effect. Actually, let's not do that overlay. Tools. Yeah, let's do that overlay. I was going to choose a different one, sorry. Okay, so go to Tools, Blending Effect. You do Film Strip. Here you can see the special effects on there. We have a number of different templates you can choose from, of course. If you wanted to choose any of the others, you can, of course, choose that as well. For instance, let's go in, do Holiday Blend. So you can go in there and create a lot of different effects with all these different options. Okay, any questions? Please pass them on to Stan. He'll be more than happy to help you out. And we'll be moving on to the next one, which is adding special transitions. So let's go into here. I'll open a new project. I'm not going to save any of this. Go to the transitions. Don't save. Now we're going to demo 4 ways to create special transitions. As you can see, when I go to the beginning of this video, I'll shrink this down so we don't have it so large. We hit play. You're going to have different transitions, ones that zoom in, zoom out, to the side, fade in, fade out, and burn out. So we're going to select these different ways and show you how to accomplish all these different transitions. Again, we're just going over a few of the features that we have. There's many other transitions that are going to be in here that you should go in and play with as well. So the first transition, we will use a blur and zoom to create. So we're going to select the sail away video. bring that in. We'll bring that down to size. And we're going to go in and click keyframe on this. So you select the video, select keyframe. What we want to do is count back 10 frames at the end of this clip and set the height to about 1. So you got about 10 clips right about there. Okay? Then you want to go in here and set the height to about 1, which is right now. So we set the keyframe right there to 1. Then we want to go to the end of this clip and set the height to about 2. Go back to there. Again, for height. This time we'll put that to 2. You need to make sure again that in each case, after you set the keyframes, you go back and choose the ease in and ease out. So now when it plays, you see that little jump in and jump out. Okay. Next, we're going to select the Baker video, drag that on in, scrunch down the timeline, compress the timeline, and then do a little cropping here. We don't need all of that. So we'll crop it to right about there. And with this one, we're going to do similar, but we're going to do it at the other way. The other one we did at the end, this one we want to do at the beginning. So again, you want to go in there to the keyframes after you select that video, and at the beginning, we want to go all the way to the beginning. We want to set the height. Now the height right now is 2 on the other one when it ends, so we want this one to be 2. And then come in about 10 frames, set another keyframe, and we want this to come down to 1. So now it's coming from zoomed in here. That should be 2 to 1. Perfect. So now when we go and play this, play them both. Okay, so they sync up. Next, we're going to add a little blur to the video. While the video is zoomed in, we're going to go to the effect room and apply the gloss and blur. So let's go to the effects. As you can see here, got an effect on both of these, the blur. So we'll go ahead and add the gloss and blur to this. Okay. And we want to add them to both of them. Then we want to go to the keyframe and set the gloss and blur to a different degree. So let's go to keyframe. We've got the gloss and blur right here. Now right now we want it's at 0, at 5, we want to keep that at 5. So we're going to click a keyframe at the same time when it's zoomed in and set it to the gloss and blur. So what I mean by that is if we go into here, we can see that the gloss and blur is set at the very end, and we want to set it in those same locations. So we'll go ahead and put it here, set it at 5, and set that to 0. And then for this one, oops. Again, we put a gloss and blur at the beginning, 5, and to right there, we want that to be 0. Okay. Now that we've added the blur to both of those, we can play it and you can see that it's got the same transition the same blur effect when it does the transition and blur at the end. Okay. So our next transition, we're going to add a slide in the transition, which is what you've seen right here, where we basically clipped it and created a slide down on these. So for this, we're going to go in there and go to the fisherman's video and add that to the timeline. So we'll go to the fisherman's video, add that to the timeline down here. What we want to do is drag the fisherman's video on the timeline and then cut 10 clips from this right here. So we want to do a little cut with this. So I'll go into here and say I want to add right about there. I want to split that. Boom. That's split. I want to do the same thing over here towards the end on Mount Baker. Right about there. And split. Okay. So we're going to set the Mount Baker one to slide to the left. So go like this. Okay. So now they're on the different timeline here. So we can sync these up. So we want to go in there and click on the keyframes on these guys. So set the keyframes. Okay, so on this one we want to change a very basic setting up here. So we want to change this to a 6, I believe. Not the gloss and blur, excuse me, position. Okay, so I'll just put this as a -5. No, sorry, this one is a 6. All right, and then we go to the Fisher one. And we put this as a -5. Okay. Sorry, hold with me right quick. Got to get these in position. Okay. Gloss and blur. This would be at this end. Oh, sorry guys, I ran into that problem there. Didn't mean to move that down. Okay, I need this at this end. Then I need another one right there. Right about here. Okay, so you're a 6. And you're a 5. Okay, and now when you play them, they should transition over. You select them. And slide over to the Fisherman Village. So you slid one over to the other one. Okay. Now the third and last transition, we're going to use a blend mode to drag the texture footage in. Let me swing this shorter. I want to cut this down. We don't need this so big here. Now the last one we're going to do is like this one right here, where we're changing the transitions on these. Okay, so we'll drag in first the turtle clip. Don't need all of that. And also this video clip. So by putting these two clips, one on track 2, one on track 4, what we want to do is right now it's all being covered. Well, we want to go in there and change that, right? So we want to select on the yellow footage and then go to blending mode. So go to Tools, we want to go to blending mode and lighten. Oh, 1 second, please. Don't think it's lightning. So blending mode, lighten. Oh, sorry about that. We want to go to Chroma Key, sorry. Enable Chroma Key. We want to go in here and choose a color. So you go in here, start playing. We want to say, choose this color. So now whenever that color is selected, it will blend in and pass right through. You can also choose a different color if you like. We'll just stick with that. So now when we go over here, line these up, play, and you've just used the Chroma Key to go in there and select that color that you want to remove. Okay, sorry about that last one. Had to remember the Chroma Key feature there. You can also go in there and change the tolerance in there and change the tolerance level up along with the saturation and the luminance, and then the edge is sharper. Okay. If there's any questions, please ask Dan. He'll correct anything that I may have gotten wrong by jumping around in there, but hopefully I didn't confuse anyone too badly. So the next one we're going to do is our Express templates. Now our Express templates is very a cool feature, I think. With this feature, we actually make it easy for the very beginner to make professional looking videos at a click of a button. So once we bring this up, what you'll notice is that it's going to come up and it's going to come up with a number of preset templates that are loading here. And I'll shrink down this window so you can see it. So here is an example of what a preset of our templates is created. So as you can see, it has motion, different types of transitions, effects, and it can handle anything from photos to videos in there as well. So go ahead and stop that. So as you can see over here, these are some of those effects. I'll go ahead and get rid of these for right now. This is actually the template. You have beginning and ending templates in here. So we go to our Express projects. And what this is telling you is that you can drag the projects you prefer to the timeline and point to the ones you want. So it's just drag and drop. Okay. So as soon as I go in here, I can go in and choose any of these different Express templates. They have a beginning and an end for all these. So I go to, say, Travel Project 02, drag that in. You can see it's got everything in there automatically. If I hit play, you can see what it's going to give me. It's got the video that opens up that I can drag and drop into there. Video 2, video 3. All you have to do to load it up is go back to your media content and say, okay, drag and drop your video into there. Or if you have photo, you can put a photo in there as well. Put some photo images. You can drag audio files in the content as well. Let's drag this one in here. So it's just drag and drop. You can go in and make any changes to any of these features. You can go in there and make content changes to the text files as well as the other files. Now this is the beginning start of it. You would also go into Express Projects. Okay, close that. And there's a Travel Project 02 end as well. So then you would drag that in. So you have the beginning and you have the end. And again, you would just do the same as before. Drag your content in and load it into those windows that you want. Excuse me. Okay. So we try to make it quick and easy. So with this, you just drag and drop and then burn. It's quick to create. And we have a number of templates, as you saw, to choose from, and more that you can download directly from free templates. Okay. Now the last one we've done Express Project. The last one will be 360 video editing. So we'll go back into here. We'll close this template project down and open a new project. Now we're going to demonstrate how to add 360 surround text, how to do color. We want to try and create content for your 360 that helps make the most out of the content that you're creating with this. So the first thing we're going to do to demonstrate this is we're going to open, well, I just opened it. Let's go ahead and do a quick play to see what it can do. I'll change the video editor to view it differently. There we go. So we got that old film look. We got better color transition. And here we got this tower marker. All this we're going to show you how to do. Okay. So let me squeeze this on down a little so we have some working room. First thing we're going to insert is drag our 360 image in. And then we're going to go to the title room and insert a 360 text. So default 360. Put that in there as well. Now with this 360 editing, we want to give you some powerful tools, but quick and easy as well. So we're going to double click on the text and we're going to type in, of course, I love travel. Okay. We're going to change the font. Let's see, what do we want to change the font to? Let's do something different here. Let's do painted. And select the effect, say solo jump, starting effect. I'll scroll down, solo jump. Okay, give that a little play, see how we like it. Okay, perfect. Okay, now that we've done this, we can also go in and make basic changes to this, you know, font color, font size. This one is white. I am going to change that to a different font color. I want this one to be red. Okay, so we've done that. Now this is a 360 video though, right? So we've just got that title in one direction right now. So let's go ahead and copy this. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to tie this to a different line. Now the reason why I want to do that is since this is a 360 video, this is actually going in multiple directions. So we want to go in there on this one and change this one up a bit, meaning where is its direction, characteristics. So we go to the object settings here, and on this one we want to change the longitude to 180. And we could make it black. So the idea here is that now when I go into that video and do a turn, 360 turn, I can see that in any direction I'm going to. So that adds your 360 content to the photo. Okay. So now we have texted front and back. So now we're going to drag CyberLink's logo in there as well. So we can go in there and say, go to my content here. We have a little logo. We can insert that as well, but you know what? Instead of inserting that there, I want to put that inside. Let me undo that. I want to put it inside here. So we can copy that to the, now let's copy it to the sideline. I'll put that in there as well, and I'll put that to front and back. So I'll put that also as 180. Degrees. Okay. I want to position that properly. Okay. And then we can do a fade into the transition logo as well if you want to do a fade in, fade out, kind of like what they did over here where they add the fade. So you can just do a transitions. Transitions, do a quick search for fade. Transitions. And to do the fade, and drag the fade onto there as well. And you can drag the fade onto the I Love Travel if you like. Okay. And we can do a blending effect for analog film on top of this as well. If we just go into the travel again, excuse me, go into tools and blending effect, and we'll add age film. Okay. Now we'll drag the last video onto the timeline and do some fixes to it. So this is just 360 text that we've done right here. This next one right here, what we've done is just some video creation, some color correction on it. So I'll go ahead and drag in that at this time. So we're going to do some color adjustment on this. So if we go into Fix and Enhance, here you can see we have the options to add enhancements to the edges. Go to a video scene that you can see better, add color adjustments. So for the color adjustment, I'm going to make some quick adjustments to this. Let's see. Let's put you there. Do a little changes there. You guys are good. 8. Okay. Do a split screen view. And let's do some HDR effect as well. Let's go to HDR. Increase the strength. Balance is good. Let's bring you down a little. And you're good. Okay. So simple as that. You're doing quick color corrections. You're improving the edges. The shadows are coming out a little clearer because we've enhanced the color and the edges on that as well. So this is a quick and easy way to go in there. We have a number of presets you can use as well for this. So you can just go in and move it a little at a time. As you saw when we were up in here in these enhancements, you can also do a split screen view. So some of the features will show up in a split screen. You can do a side-by-side comparison until you get the right setting that you want. Okay. And the next one is a little bit more exciting than this one. This one is just a little bit of color correction. Let me squeeze this on down. The next one we're going to do is actual motion tracking. So we'll add this video clip on here. And what we're going to do here is, after dragging the video in, we're going to go into Tools and Motion Tracking. We're going to go in here and add a little pizzazz to a video. So as you can see, we got the video playing here. See, 360 video. That's a building right there. Let's track that big guy. So we want to zoom in on that. Make the box smaller. Okay, and then start tracking. So as you can see, the camera is focused on that building as we're moving. And this can be kids at a soccer game, or it could be a racetrack or anything of that nature. So once you've got that tracking going down, you've got that selected, you can go in there and add some text. So I can go in there and say, okay, we'll call this the dark tower. Make that black so we can see. Okay. Do skinny, make it smaller so we can actually get it in there. Color's not showing up. Okay, that's not right. Let's try this again. Don't allow me to track. Okay, let me delete that and try that again. Okay. Okay, so let's jump forward again. Let's get this right on there. Okay, track. Okay. Make sure this is the beginning. Okay, dark tower. Okay, there we go. Now we got it. And let's bring it down in font size. And we can resize it as you like. We can create borders around it. So you can really get creative with that. It's really cool when you're tracking a soccer team with your kids or something of that nature. Okay, after the track is added, we add the text or any other information we want. You can also copy the tracker and then add another image afterwards. Let's go ahead and see how that one's playing first. So you can see it's dark tower following it. Okay, stop that. Let's go ahead and copy the tracker. So at this point, instead of just doing text, maybe you want to do a quick image. So we'll go over here. Say we want to put an image there now. We'll import a media clip from our overlay room. We'll go with our extreme animator as they did in the previous one. Again, you can resize it, reposition it as you see fit. Let's make it bigger. Okay. So now when it plays, you're going to have that video clip in there. Let me go back into there. Play it from there, it's easier. Okay, so from right here you can see. Let me extend that out so it plays longer. And hit play. Okay. Now the last but not least that we have is our 360 small world. It's very quick, very easy to do. I'll go in here and say new project. Don't save. And all we do is import a media file, 360 media file. I've got this little racetrack thing going here. Okay. So all you have to do is, grab that guy in, select 2D, and then just go in and do little planet. Simple as that. I've now got little planet effect. So that guy is racing around his little world forever in 1 second flat. So that pretty much is the end of it. So hopefully that answers any questions people have for this. We really hope that you enjoyed what we showed you here today. Thank you again for your time. Appreciate it. If you have any questions, please hit us up. We'll be glad to help out in any way we can.